What's going on, beautiful people? This is Max coming back to you with another video from the Majestic Lifestyle Coaching channel. And today's talk is going to be based on two simple questions. Who lied to you? Who hurt you? So, in this world that we live in now, one thing that people often like I'll just say two things that people would like to throw out a lot is you have to work harder, or you have to work hard, right? Just simply, you have to work hard. And a lot of people like to say, man, so many people out there are lazy. And you know what? In a moment of being candid, I can admit that I've been through that as well. My life has been a very interesting journey. It's still an interesting journey. But my destination, I've known what my destination was for a long time in my life, but it's being focused now, and it's getting to the point where, I really know exactly where I have to go. And so, yes, I too have been a victim of that. And you know what? Oftentimes when I see people speak like that or say these kind of things about people, I often ask myself, what is the person's story that is saying that statement? And what is the story of a lot of people who are actually deemed lazy, or who actually do lazy things or take shortcuts, or they seem to always try to go around a corner? I am of a different mindset, I'll be honest with you. I don't buy it, what the average person talks about when it comes to hard work, quote unquote, or lazy people, that there are so many lazy people here on earth. And it may be based on my bias, it may be based on what I've been through in my personal experience, but based on what I've been through and based on what I've followed or observed from other people, I should say, I would venture to say, and remember, I'm not a psychologist. I haven't done an extensive research on these things. It's just been through personal experience, things that I've read, books that I've read, things that I've read online, and things that I've seen. So these are my personal thoughts. But I am under the personal mindset that there are a lot less lazy people and non-hardworking people than other people tend to think there are actually out there. And I find that a lot of the people who've had success, one or two things happen. Either they forget how it was in the beginning, or sometimes their success was so fast and so everything fell in line so much that they don't have the empathy and ability to understand what other people go through. So going back to the original question is, who lied to you? Who lied to you, and who gave you a false story? Is pretty much the way I'm gonna put it. There are a lot of people out there who have given up in life, or who are not trying as hard, or who are not working as hard because of what they've been through and what people have told them. So a lot of us know that as kids, when we're kids or little kids, tend to just have the ability to think they have no limits on their power. They think they can conquer the world, and they just have a different outlook on life. Kids tend to have a very positive outlook on life. And oftentimes, parents, relatives, people at church, people at school, people on the street will stomp on those dreams and that whole mindset that I can conquer the world. And no, this is not me coming out and saying, oh, I don't believe you should ever say no to your children. No. I believe parents should parent children and teach them put them on the right path, I should say. Teach them and bring them up in the right path, right? With showing them boundaries, limits, but also showing them possibilities that exist out there, right? So at the end of the day, a lot of kids have just been told no for no reasons when it comes to what they can accomplish, what they want to do, how they think, and that takes a toll. And then as kids go from being children, they go from kids to being children to being teenagers, young adults. They keep running into those type of situations. Their dreams are crushed. Their dreams are not only crushed, but they're stomped on. They are annihilated. They are blown up. And some of them also weren't equipped, and often at times it's through no fault of their parents, but it's just the environment they were raised in. They weren't equipped to understand that in life you're gonna hit walls, you're gonna run into obstacles, prejudice, racism, sexism, bigotry. You're gonna run into just haters and people who will hurt themselves because hurt people hurt people. And we'll talk about that in one of these videos down the line. The truth about hurt people that hurt people. But the people that we run across in our lives, it affects us. You know, you have kids who laugh at other kids for any mistake, right? The second you mess up, instead of telling the other person that you could do it, you keep trying, people will laugh at them. People will say you'll never amount to anything, you're no good, all types of things like that. And that's the lie that people will hear while growing up. And then one thing that happens that, especially in this age, we really know this truth statement that I'm about to say. A lie repeated over and over and over becomes the truth most of the time with most people. If you say the wrong thing over and over, if you hear the wrong thing over, you start to believe it. So people have heard that they're no good, that never amount to any good, that they're lazy, that they're this or that, they don't work hard. And then they start to buy in to what people are saying about them. And they start to believe that programming, and they start to adapt that mentality. And it becomes personal, and then it becomes their life. So their life, the life purpose, their life mission. So I'm here to tell you, if you have given up, if you are about to give up, if you believed anything that they said about you that is not you, then first of all, I'm sorry that you went through that. I apologize on behalf of all those hurt people. I'll say it nicely. I apologize that someone hurt you and someone was in such a bad space in their own lives that they could not pour out positivity into you. All they could do is spread the stinking thinking that they have. Yep, that's right, stinking thinking, the garbage inside their minds. So that's all they had, and then they spread it out to you. And then you heard it so much, and you couple that with life's woes, difficulties, obstacles, and then you believe it. So here's what I want you to do. If you've ever believed what they said about you, but you knew deep down inside that you weren't that, but eventually you became that, I want you to go back and dig into yourself. You need to really spend some time with you, spend some time in prayer, connecting with God if you're a Christian and you believe in God, or if you believe in God altogether, and just get to the point where you could peel away the garbage layers that were laid over you. Peel them away and start to rediscover yourself. So for me, I actually went through this. People used to say that I'm lazy and all these things. There's people that believe all types of things about me, especially because I'm a person that's been working on being an entrepreneur for so long, and nothing's worked to a high successful level yet. I've had my wins here and there, but I've had a lot more failures, and so people have placed their own ideas on me. But one day I had to really think about my life and what I've been through. So let me give you an example. When it comes to laziness, for example, right? I remember there was a young lady I was dating. When we started dating, she told me that friends of hers and people that she know advised her that be careful with this guy. He's the type of guy that will want to sit on your couch when you get married and do nothing. When I heard that, I was shocked and really saddened to hear that. Like, these folks had know nothing about me. And you know what? Eventually, I got to the point where I said, you know what? I have to be okay with people not knowing the full story until they see it. And then, you know what? At the end of the day, sometimes people will see you at the top and they think you took a shortcut or someone else put you there. It wasn't your effort. You have to be okay with not everybody knowing your part of the story. And so I had to really sit there and think about me and how I did things and look at different scenarios to see how I operated versus what people thought about me. And when I started to think about that, when I used to, and especially when I used to, for example, when I think about how I do the dishes. So anyone that knows me knows I'm a neat freak. I'm not OCD. Some people think I'm OCD, but I'm not. I'm just a neat freak. And I think about how many steps I take when I do the dishes. So this is just one example of a good number of things that I actually had to think about and dig within myself. So this is an example for you on what to do and how to get there so you can be able to take off the garbage that people have laid on you that you start to believe. So I'll give you an example. When I do the dishes, I have a 3-step process. Because of the way I analyze everything, I realize, wait a second, when you clean with a sponge, if you take a plate of food and you put soap on the sponge and you put that sponge in the dirty plate to clean all the dirt and the grease and everything that's there, the only thing you're doing is taking the grease and the dirt and you're putting in the sponge. And this is the same sponge you're going to use on the next item to clean the next item. So that's like, to me, when I thought about it, I realized, wait a second, if I'm cleaning the backyard by the pool because there's a bunch of mud, right? Am I going to take something and wipe the mud and then keep putting in the same thing to clean another part of the area? No. I'm going to clean off the whatever I'm using, the towel or whatever, before I clean up another area so I don't spread the mud around. And so with the process that I use when I clean the dishes is I'll use a paper towel, and mind you, yes, I do recycle as well, but I'll use a paper towel and I will put soap on it, and I'll first of all rinse as much as I can. I'll take off as much dirt as I can on the item, on the dish or the pot, and then I'll take that paper towel with soap, I'll clean it, and usually by that point all the grime, all the gunk is gone, but you still have some dirt or some heavy sauce or grease. I'll clean it with the paper towel, and then I'll rinse it off, and then I go back in and wash it with soap and the sponge. It's a 3-step process that a lot of people would never do. But for me, all the dishes that I do, I'll clean every dish the same way. It's a much longer process. It takes more time. And when I start to think about things like that in my life, I realized, wait a second, I'm not lazy. Yes, I will admit there are certain things in life, like for example, when I was in school, I didn't apply myself as much as I should have. For example, when I started school, I was 15 and a half when I started college. And no, actually, I just turned 16. And I prefer spending time in the student lounge, in the gym, or hanging out. So, yeah, I was never into school like that. And so I realized that there's some things that I did, which I take ownership of, that maybe people think that way. But there's some other situations where it was depression or lack of motivation, or just not really interested in that. But the things that I loved or I care for, I would put so much time into it until I knew it was done perfectly. And so when I started to understand that, I realized, wait a second, that helped me to realize that people don't always have all the answers. Even wise people, even smart people that I knew were real smart, thought these things about me. But I started to realize on my own that, wait a second, their assessment from the outside is not fully accurate of me, that I can see everything that I deal with and everything that I go through, and I know that they're wrong. And from that point on, the wheel started to turn, and it started to get me to the point where I was dismissing people's ideas, thoughts, advice, things that they would try to throw inside of me, which I knew they were wrong. And so that's one of the biggest ways that I started to find my place, understand who I am, and love me, and understand my weaknesses, my strength, and understanding the things I need to get better at day by day. So that's the advice I'll give to you. If you're about to give up, if you gave up, you got to get to the point where you analyze yourself. You really dig inside yourself, find out what it is, because I believe, I'm very, like I said, this is not a there's no science research on this, but I believe a lot more people would work a lot harder, a lot more people would take less shortcuts, a lot more people would not give up if everyone around us was so positive and pouring into us. In other words, saying, you can do it. I know you can do better. I know you could do it. Keep pushing, keep going. You're doing fine. It's okay. You messed up, no problem. Keep going. You're going to get there. If everybody in society was that way, I believe a lot more people, most people out there, would be a lot harder working, would go further, and would accomplish a lot more. But unfortunately, things are not this way. So we have to learn to adjust with the way the world is. So if you've given up, if you're about to give up, based on programming that you now have, that other people put into you, I want you to start looking to yourself. I want you to self-analyze. I want you to listen to success talks, success books, success anything, and listen to other people's journeys, what they went through. Think about how you feel, what has kept you back, what has affected you, and realize that it's never too late. And what people have put on you, you don't have to believe for yourself. You can go a lot further. So this is the word I'm going to leave you with. The word I'm going to leave you with today. Who lied to you, and why did you accept it? So until next time, sorry, I'm hitting the table. Like, subscribe, and comment below. What is something that people have told you that you've accepted that you thought was true? Or what is something that you either accepted that you are going through right now, or something you overcame that people try to tell you you were, but you realize you weren't, by doing just looking to yourself. So that's the question today. Like I said, comment, like, share, and let's grow this community together of a community of people who are out to become their best on a daily basis across the board, and not only become your best, but to go back and reach for anyone else you can. Give them a hand up, give them a push, give them a pull to get other people to another level. So let's keep working together, and on a regular basis, I want you all to live your best life. So until next time, take it easy.